Generative AI and Innovation onto the innovative side. I'm looking forward to this one, certainly. Please welcome to the stage for this fireside chat from Dassault Systèmes, Frédéric Vacher, together with, from the Innovator, Jennifer Schenker.
So, good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Schenker, founder and editor-in-chief of The Innovator, a global publication about innovation that is read by the leaders of some of the world's largest companies. And it's my great pleasure to share the stage today with Frédéric Vacher, who is head of innovation at Dassault Systèmes and the founder of the company's 3D Experience Lab. For those of you who don't know, it's an open innovation lab with a strong network of incubator partners and 5 main hubs in Paris, Boston, Pune, Munich, and Shanghai. Innovations that have come out of that lab include 3D printing of organs, autonomous solar drones, and stent implant stimulation. So just before we get into the meat of the conversation, which is really going to be about how does AI accelerate innovation, let's set the scene by talking about what does innovation look like at Dassault Systèmes?
Thanks for the intro, Jennifer, and good afternoon. At Dassault Systèmes, we have innovation in our DNA since 40 years. We are in the digital world, helping all the industries to imagine their products and processes in the virtual world. So it's coming by plane, cars, and now most of the things that are around you have been fully digitalized in a virtual world with us. Whatever is Tesla, so they are sponsoring for the event, or Google data centers, or roughly everything. Talking about generative AI, we are a generative company since day one. The bet of Dassault Systèmes, at that time people were using 2D or just paper and pen to draft a drawing. Was that the object should be represented in 3D as a data model. And once it's done, then you generate. You generate drawing, you generate pictures, you generate NC codes for programming the machines, you generate robot codes. Everything is generated from the data model. So generative is a really important thing because it's really bringing the value, the automation value, and accelerate everything what you do. And it's helping all the companies, all the industries to work in a collaborative way, because now on the cloud, people can co-design, co-engineer wherever they are on the world together in a virtual world. So as you mentioned, this is what we do since the beginning. We invest a lot in life sciences. We are a science-based company, and what we want to do is to help all the pharmaceutical companies to invent new drugs, and to do what we have done in the industries, knowing from the idea to the design, engineering, simulation, production, and go to market, but for a drug or for a vaccine. And it's what we do. You all have heard Moderna and BioNTech. They did all their clinical trials on our cloud platforms, such as more than 70% of the private clinical trials. So life science is a big thing for us, to modelize not only molecules, but a human body, not to make your avatar, but to have the exact same virtual clone of your organs in order to enhance everything we should do around you for your health in terms of prostheses, surgery, stents, or whatever. I founded the 3D Experience Lab 10 years ago, roughly, with the idea to accelerate disruptive innovation that strongly impact the society. That's very profound in our purpose as a company. We want to help the industries to change the world. And I'm saying this, we have no planet B. Everything we heard before needs data centers, needs energy, needs power resources. And if we are not taking the right directions, we will burn our planet, as simple as that. So we all need to understand that behind generative AI to produce a photo or text, you have computing services that are running behind nuclear power plants, because this is how it's produced today. And I think it is our responsibility to make sure that using those technology is for good.
So I think it's worth, elaborating a little bit here to talk about some of the startups that you're working with and how, what they're doing is helping the world. So you and I have talked before, and I know, for example, you're working with one startup that is working on a headset to help blind people be able to see. And many other types.
Yeah, that's true. We use virtual twin on AI a lot. All sorts of AI, by the way, not only LLMs, but deep learning or computer vision. You mentioned Dotlumen. This is a Romanian startup that is working on a headset, so not to do VR or AR for fun, but to guide the blind. So this headset is monitoring the world, doing computer vision and deep learning to analyze the situation around you, guide the person, and alert in case of danger. So this is to disrupt the white cane or the dog, and it's really bringing a real service to the blind community. As another example, we accelerate a lot of startups in the life science industry, like FIOPS from Belgium. You take a medical imaging, you reconstruct your organ, an artery, for instance, in 3D, to have the virtual twin of the arteries in order to perform simulation, and with AI to provide information to the surgeons, like what is the right stance to put to match the morphology of the patient, and how to prepare the surgery with the trajectory of implant. So this is all packaged, and it comes as an assistant for the surgeon to do it right the first time. Another one is for people that are having we use also AI to reconstruct a virtual twin of arteries, 3D print those arteries so that this capsule is put into a device in which we insert the same liquid having the same properties than the blood, so that the surgeon can train himself on your own case of the patient-specific case to perform the surgery. So in case of aneurysm, this was the word I was looking for. So a lot of projects in life sciences. I really believe GenAI will help us to invent new drugs, by the way. It's currently helping us to create synthetic patients. As you know, when you perform a clinical trial, you need to have placebo. And in the real life, by it's you and me trying drugs to be in part of this cohort, it could be a virtual patient. And this is what we do already. We use AI a lot in computer vision, I was saying, to put things autonomous, like cars, but also drones. And what we want to do is to reduce the impact of those mobility systems that are part of a system, by the way, which is very important because everything what you do is part of a global system. So in case you are building a car or a plane or whatever, and you want to enhance and make your product more sustainable, you need to think system. And the system is around you, not only in your company, wherever you are big. So you are I don't know, BMW or Renault. In case you change your engine in terms of you need to think about new energy production, new energy distribution, on new infrastructure so that everything works together. And if you change something, you need to understand the unwanted consequences. And this could be modelized, so then simulated, and then optimized. So this is really where AI could bring a lot of value.
So if we move to generative AI in particular, what are some of the ways that it's helping to accelerate innovation now at your company?
We have a lot of use cases. For instance, as we are designers at the beginning, from prompt, you can specify what you want. I don't know, I want a lamp of this size, with a maximum weight and a center of gravity at one place, particular space. And our solvers will compute and generate the form that answer your requirements. So we reverse completely the design and engineering process so that by prompting, the solvers provide you the answer, and then you customize and adjust. Another example is on everyone in the room could try. We have a worldwide leading platform owned by me to create your interior design, your apartment or your house in 3D. So either you take your iPhone and you scan in augmented reality your walls, or you sketch the floor plan. And usually what you were willing to do is drag and drop the furnitures, the finishes to make your home decor. Now you just need to select few pictures that are inspiring you, and our AI will compute the scene for you and generate the complete project for you, and then you can adjust. So it's really a game changer in terms of productivity, automating the process, and also giving access to a wider audience.
So what about collaboration? Because your company has a big focus on open innovation. So how does generative AI help with collaboration?
In our lab, we are using a lot for monitoring, for instance, because as we are looking for disruptive projects, they are not that easy to find. They are not everywhere. So we need AI and data intelligence to monitor everything and to identify new projects in our pipeline. We use generative AI to qualify the projects as well, to make sure it fits our criteria and automate the job of those persons. But we always use AI in combination with human intelligence. I really don't believe to use 100% AI systems without any human in the loop. For me, it makes no sense. The combination of both is bringing a huge value.
What are some of the ways that you see other businesses and the public using generative AI?
As I said, in life science, there are a lot of progress so I put apart the generative of pictures like Midjourney and stuff like this. That's good, but there are a lot of IP issues. So it's in the buzz, and it has to be regulated. At Dassault Systèmes, we are very careful about the IP, obviously. We are serving all the industries since 40 years, so you could imagine that the IP of the virtual twin of a plane or a car, it's such a big thing for the company that there is no option to do similar things. But if you train your AI on the right data sets, then it could bring some interesting usage. Talking about innovation, we could really think having our customers training their AI on all what they have done in the past to repurpose and reshape new cars. So it's in the trend, by the way. You saw Renault, they reinvent a Renault 5 as electric car. People like us, we know this car for 30 years. So very reinvented. And by the way, it's more or less what we do all day long. We reinvent, especially in the fashion industry. There are trends, and they are coming back. Maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years after. So AI is a way to make great usage of your data if you organize and orchestrated your data the right way. And this is very powerful.
So efficiency is certainly, one of the reasons why companies want to adopt generative AI. But if we look at it for, how it will fuel new innovations, how do you see it impacting things like spatial computing or maybe brain interface technology?
That's true that, as Vili was saying, it is changing the way we discuss with the computer, because now we can be understood. It was, by the way, the promise of Siri and Alexa and all that stuff, but it was not working in the past. So now it works. So now you can engage a conversation, whatever the language, even translate real time. This works well, and this will probably change the way we interact with those things. I think we are entering into a new era. I'm quite old in the digital way. I started my career on mainframes, then I followed the professional workstations, then the personal workstations, and now we are on the cloud with those touch devices. And as you can see, like me, in the street, everybody is like this, in the metro, like this. And most probably, we'll have a different type of interaction, either with your brain or a voice, so that it provides the service you need without touching and reading your small screen. So because it's a decade, all those phases are by decade, and we are probably entering into a new decade. You were mentioning spatial computing. I'm following spatial computing for long, because as you can imagine, virtual reality is not new for us, but the progress are very slow. So all my clients are using virtual reality to validate the design of a new car in the virtual world. The car obviously is not real. Check the ergonomics of something. Train someone to perform a task, for instance, in a dangerous zone in a nuclear plant, so that when the guy is going, he has rehearsed in the virtual world. Now the headsets are cheaper, they are a bit better, but that's still not usable for all day long. Even the Apple Vision Pro that bring something a leap forward. So it's really better, but it's still not the. We just saw 2 days ago the prototypes of Meta. There are still progress to do, but probably one day it will come, so that all your digital world will be around you as a universe, your universe, so that you can buy. In my opinion, it will really serve the retail world. Today, the retail experience is not good. In shop, it's not good. On online, for instance, when you buy online, it's just these three steps. The experience is not good. So a mix, so that you enter a shop and you can have a virtual world, so that you can configure and experience things, whatever it is, a new sofa or a car that does not exist yet. Will really make the difference.
So we're clearly heading in that direction, but I think I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to ask you about how to deal with the risks involved with generative AI. We're at the height of the Gartner hype cycle, and most companies, I would argue, feel under a lot of pressure to adopt quickly generative AI, but that comes with some risks. So what is your advice to other companies about how to embrace Gen AI while taking those risks into consideration?
So that's true, we are at the top of the hype cycle. Many companies did prototypes and try to understand the usage. They understood that there are a lot of risk, sovereignty risk. So it brings dependency on some third-party suppliers. Obviously, hallucination, we talk about it. The predictability of the answer, it never answers the same thing, so it's probably sometimes difficult. And the most important is the IP. As those AI are trained, this is not acceptable at all. So if you are a professional, obviously you need to make sure that you manage well your data. We mentioned garbage in, garbage out, and you need to control, curate, and validate the data set on which you train your AIs, depending on your business. And you really need to understand the consequences of running third-party AIs. We are in France, we are part of Europe. Currently, most of those platforms are coming from some of our folks on the other side of the ocean, which is good. But there are options to have sovereignty inside Europe. As you know, Dassault Systèmes invests in the cloud systems operation, especially for sensitive data, so coming from industry, medical data, and so on. And we announced a partnership with Mistral AI to host their LLMs on these cloud operations. In order to provide an alternative to those players, in case you want to control all your dependencies and keep the thing in France and in Europe. This is very important. So usually political don't understand the consequences of the digital revolutions, whether they are clouds or AI. And by the way, it comes together. AI is data plus cloud. And you need to obviously, because I'm very positive about this, identify your usage and use it, but you need to do it the proper way so that you control the global chain.
So the message is, embrace generative AI, but put the proper precautions in place. And we're almost out of time, so, the bottom line for you is generative AI will fuel more innovation?
Definitely, it's a way to accelerate. We could do it as human, but obviously AI embrace a big amount of data, so it can perform better and quicker. So as I said, as for example, for drug discovery, I'm pretty sure that it will really bring some revolutions to invent new drugs that will probably solve some of our big problems. So I'm very positive about using AI, but we must do it in a proper way. And also to use it in a way that is not impacting our world, even more, is protecting our world. So this is my final word. There is no planet B. All those technology can consume a lot for stupid things, so please use it for good.
With that, let's give a nice round of applause to Frédéric. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, Frédéric and Jennifer.